thinking that, like the frenemies, you can't really translate that in, like it doesn't, like frenemigos doesn't, you can't really translate, like, you know what I mean? Because you want to get both amigo and enemigo in the same word, but in Spanish the word's too close, so you can't.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you can play with it. Like.
I love that frenemigo. Frenemy. How about Brian Eno?
I like Brian Eno.
Yeah, this is Brian Eno from like 1974.
Oh yeah?
I'll Come Running to Tie Your Shoe. With Robert Fripp on guitar.
Who is that guy?
Robert Fripp.
Oh, okay.
He played with, he was in King Crimson, he played with Bowie and everybody. And a very experimental guitarist. See, this could be, right? Like, people need somebody like me to tell them. To tell them what music is cool. It's too much. They can't handle it. Too much stuff. Too much information. They need somebody to sort through the information and tell them. But I like to do like, I do new groups like Girls and Waves, and then do like retro stuff. Like maybe like once a week have some retro artist featured, like Brian Eno or something.
Right.
Which would be, actually, you could do it because Brian Eno has a new album out right now.
Right.
So you could play his new album, which is ambient and does mostly instrumental, doesn't have any words, and then use it as an opportunity to present his older stuff too. Right, so you could do the 2010 album, Brian Eno, and the 1974 John Peel sessions with Fripp. That's how you could do.
Do you have this on the? Do you have this on your iPod?
Yeah, well, see, now this would be hard to get. This recorded in the BBC studios 1974 for the DJ John Peel, right, who promoted a lot of obscure British and American bands like the White Stripes, the Pixies, T-Rex, Brian Eno. He promoted Gang of Four, The Jam. He really was able to find these people right when they're starting and say, this is going to be, these guys are good, and promoted them. So this Peel Sessions is like 1974. You can't get this. It's never been officially released. It's not released by, first of all, it's controlled by BBC, who are very tight with their control, right?
Right.
So Eno has never released it. Eno's record company's never released it. BBC has never released it. As far as I know, it's only been released as an Italian bootleg. You know, an illegal, it's unauthorized Italian bootleg.
Right.
So I was able to download it, but yeah, how would you share that with people if it's not available, you know? I guess you could try to cut a deal. You could just make it available, and if anybody buys it, you could say like, hey BBC, like, you know, 500 people paid me $1 for this, so here's your cut. You know? What can you do? Or wait for them to sue you or something. Or another thing I was thinking of was, there's this song I got recently. It's this British guy who's he's friends with the Arctic Monkeys. He's in a side project with Alex Turner from Arctic Monkeys called The Last Shadow Puppets. And his name is Miles Kane. He's also in a band called The Rascals, who opened up for Arctic Monkeys on a lot of their British tours. So he has a new solo album. So he's The Rascals, he's in Last Shadow Puppets, and now he's Miles Kane's solo, first solo album. And he just released a single, right? With so it's the A-side and the B-side on a 7-inch vinyl. I have the vinyl of that. And I was able to get a digital download of it too from a British site by giving them my friend's British address. It's the only way I could get it. I can't legally buy it as a non-British person. Right? It's only available in Britain legally right now. So I have it, but how would I share that with people? It's not even available in America, you know?
Do they sell it on, like, if you put it online, like you put your MP3s online, I mean, what do you think will happen?
If I would post this, yeah, I could get sued. Or maybe nothing would happen. You know?
Maybe they'll just give you a cease and desist.
Yeah. Well, that would be the first thing anyway.
Right. Well, yeah.
So this is the song. I think it's a cool song. It's called Inhaler. I would love to feature this, like single of the week, Inhaler, the debut single by Miles Kane. It's like garage rock, 60s garage rock. It's actually about his asthma inhaler.
How do you know? What does it say?
The chorus is Inhaler, Inhaler. No, but he said that in an interview that he wrote about his asthma inhaler. But it's also about, sort of has sexual connotation to it, also perhaps. Yeah. Those would be issues that you'd have to deal with. I mean, like, you could just post it and say I don't care and see if they sue you. But like stuff that's legally available in the U.S., you could definitely have links to iTunes, Amazon, or whoever to sell it.
Right, and if they buy it through your, because that makes sense. You make a recommendation, and if somebody buys the album based on your recommendation, you get a percentage of it. Yeah.
Now, the question is, old things that are no longer legally available, or like some things are only available in vinyl and are not available digitally. I need things to be available digitally.
Well, you can always digitize.
Yeah.
And then,
if you have the vinyl.
Right.
Sometimes it's hard to get. Like this Eno thing. How the fuck would you get that? It's an Italian vinyl bootleg from the 70s. How the fuck would you get that? You know what I mean?
But what you can do is, I mean, in some cases,
I got it,
but just post it online and see if they won't just sue you. They will tell you, hey, put it down, blah blah blah. And then
BBC, yeah, they're very jealous because there's a lot of things that they don't release, but they think like, well, maybe one day we'll release it, so we want to keep our rights to it, you know.
Right.
And I would also recommend this new book by Cheetah Chrome of the Dead Boys. The Dead Boys were from Cleveland, and they went to New York in 77, 78, and were playing in CBGB's in Max's Kansas City alongside of Television, Patti Smith, the Ramones, the Talking Heads. They were inspired by the New York Dolls and Iggy Pop and bands like that, and they wanted to play real balls-to-the-wall rock and roll. So they got really involved in the New York punk rock scene, and this is Cheetah Chrome's story. He hooked up with this guy, Stiv Bators, who was the singer. He died. He was hit by a car and died from internal injuries. And Cheetah became like a real hardcore drug addict, but then later cleaned up, and now he's living in Nashville and is a session musician. This is his book. I highly recommend it. It's available now on Voyager Press.
Hey, and who ran over the guy with his car?
$24. Some fucking French guy.
Oh.
CIA. I love this song. This is the B-side to Miles Kane's Inhaler. I love Inhaler. I think this song absolutely blows. His voice sucks.